And I spent the best part of a year basically in my bedroom. How to be happy. That's what I'm planning to call this video when I upload it. Whether I call it that or not, we'll see. Now, I'm not gonna try and attempt to give advice or anything like that, because truthfully, it's more of a question more than anything. I am 33 years old just now, coming up on 34. I am very happy. Obviously, I don't feel like content and I have everything in the world, because that would be insane, wouldn't it? Like, you've got everything, you'll never want for anything again. You know, you always want to strive, I think. But for most of my life, definitely unhappy. A couple of things jump out. One was, I was always living for the future. Like, here's an example. When I left university, I was 23 years old. I wanted to beat the stock market. So as soon as I left university, I started programming on my computer, programming Microsoft Excel. And I spent the best part of a year basically in my bedroom. I locked myself away and I was trying this program and that program. I was trying algorithms and writing, you know, coding and programming, trying to find this magical system that would beat the market and make me rich instantly. And so I did basically nothing. I did 18 hours a day. I got up in the morning, maybe 7 or 8, not that early, because I'd usually been up till midnight, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, just programming. And I did this for month after month after month, and nothing actually came of it. You know, I tried putting some money on and trying to do it, but it was a bit scary. The account that I started to trade currencies, really, it went up and down. It was a real roller coaster ride. So nothing. I was pretty ignorant. I thought I could sort of beat the best in the world, and you know, it failed spectacularly. Luckily, I didn't lose much money anyway. But yeah, so I really sort of, that year was kind of a goner. I mean, nothing is ever wasted really, but you know, nothing, when I think of that year, for example, that's all I did. I learned a lot, of course. So yeah, that's what I mean by living for the future. I really did nothing that entire year. Actually, let's break up this video. So it's a bit dark just now, I never put the lights on. There we go. So this will be an office sooner or later, the new office. This is going to be the Cogent Industries headquarters. I've done a couple of videos on this. We're currently in a really small unit over in sort of where I live, in a town about an hour's drive from here, and that's in a town called Whakatane. This is a town called Tauranga, which is, you know, 4, 5, 6 times the size, real industrial stuff going on. We'll ultimately end up here, but not for a long time. A long time is in months, that's a long time to me. So, yeah, actually, I'll do a quick tour of downstairs, just in case you've missed it. If you look at some of my other videos, you'll see this place is like 5 times as big as, well, maybe not 5, 4 times as big as the other area. Certainly feels like 10 times the size, that's for sure. So it's really empty just now. There's really nothing in it. We've got one machine, which I talked about in another video. And give me a second while I get this set up. So it's pretty empty just now. It's, you know, over the next few months, hopefully we'll start moving equipment over here. We will, you know, get some furniture in here, and I'll have essentially an office, because I work from cafes most of the time. I do have a sort of computer and a desk at home, but I don't really use it that much apart from at night. So it's kind of empty just now. Oh, right, happiness. Yeah, like, I am extremely happy, content should be the word, doing what I'm doing right now. But I wasn't always that way. It's strange. Like, I was always trying to find happiness. I used to be into cars. I thought, if I get a cool car, I'll be happy. And I think the logic was because people will want to spend time with me. People might want to, just the classic stuff like possessions will make me happy. Once I do this, I'll be happy. Once I get bigger biceps, I'll be happy. Once I do, it doesn't seem to have worked like that. I really do not know why I am extremely content now. And, I still am desiring and wanting and striving for more than I've got. I mean, I'm working for myself, but I want to get more. Ultimately I'll probably have employees helping build the business bigger. I've got more titanium stuff and non-titanium stuff I want to make down the line. I feel like I'm hardly scratching the surface, but I really don't know what's changed. I mean, I think from what I read about sort of brains and things and development, there's a natural development in that your brain, it calms down, it matures. Your prefrontal cortex matures and there's more balance there. I don't know if I'm wording it right, but I think that's perhaps a part of it. Another part of it, I think, is acceptance. Acceptance of just what can and can't be done, what you can and can't do. One thing I've learned is that it's possible to learn pretty much anything you want. I used to think you're either born with something or you were not born with it. There was no sort of, start at zero and learn to become really good at X, Y, or Z. I've now realised that you can pretty much become not the world's best because, like a lot of times, you have to start from the very beginning. You have to start from when you're 3 years old. If you want to be the best golfer, you really need to start when you're 3, and perhaps there's a bit of luck there. But if you want to become a really, really, really good golfer, I think you can do that. And you just have got to put in the hours and the effort and whatnot. I actually don't know where this is going. I probably should have thought more about this before I started filming. So there's 2 podcasts that I listen to without fail all the time. Hopefully that's focusing. The Tim Ferriss Show. Don't miss a single episode of that. Absolutely fascinating. And the other one, The Moth. Now, Tim Ferriss is where he interviews various people who are world class at what they do. The Moth is basically just stories, people telling stories. Unbelievable. Just, quite often just no one special, like no celebrity or anything like that. Other times they're well-known people. Nevertheless, the stories are just awesome, and they're very, very addictive. Some of them are, every so often there's one that's not that good, but I highly recommend you give it a try. So the Tim Ferriss podcast and the Moth podcast. Those are the only 2 I really listen to. If you have any recommendations, definitely put them in the comments, because I'm pretty open to anything, to be honest. I can just observe that, whoa, that sun's bright. Holy moly. Or how lazy or not lazy I feel. So I'm always looking. Oh, there's a big truck in the way there. Oh, bloody hell.